Hi. I just stuffed myself with some gingerbread cookies. I stuffed myself up to my fucking eyes with them. And now I feel a slight stomach ache coming on. Do I regret doing this? No. I don't regret doing this. It was great. Well, anyway, I want to talk to you about goals. How do you feel about goals? Because the new year has started, and I know some people like to make New Year's resolutions and stuff, and honestly, I've never been one to do that. And a lot of people have goals for each year. So how about you? Do you have goals? Do you like to have goals? Or are you like me? You don't have goals? Because I don't have goals. I really don't have goals, and I'm gonna talk to you about why. And maybe that can help anyone out there. Especially if you are someone who sets goals, but then if you don't achieve them, you just end up feeling depressed because you didn't achieve it. Which is basically the exact reason I don't have goals, because I think that's probably how I would feel. I attended a voiceover meet a few days ago, and we were talking about goals, and that was the topic of this meeting, just a bunch of voice actors meeting to talk about our goals for the new year. And I knew this beforehand, that we were going to talk about goals. When I saw this email about this meeting come in, and I saw that the topic was goals, this opened up one of my own personal can of worms, basically. Because I was like, okay, this is another one of these situations in which you feel like people are expecting a sort of answer, right? They're expecting you to talk about your goals, but what do you do if you don't have goals? And you might be like, well, you just say you don't have goals. And it's wonderful if it's that easy for you to do, but in my case, that has never been easy for me to do. It's never been easy for me to give an answer that is like different from a larger group of people, if that makes sense. Because, my whole life I've I know that I stand out in some kind of way. And I've been a target before because of that. And so that created this thing in me where I'm like, I don't want to create more of that. Or that's how I used to be anyway. I used to be like, I don't want to create more of that, more of this standing out by having my answers be different from the group. So I would always be like, if somebody was like, tell me about your goals, I would think in my own head, I don't know how to answer this because I never really had goals. Like even when I was younger. You know how in school they ask you about what is your 5-year plan? And I hated that question in school because I was just like, what is my 5-year plan? I have no idea, man. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. And I kind of want to see how it goes. I haven't even seen life outside of school yet. And you're asking me about a 5-year plan? Really? So I never knew how to answer that question, but I didn't want to stand out by saying what I'm saying right now. So then I would feel like, okay, I need to make up a plan so that I could give this answer. So basically I just would have this problem of like not being able to give whatever my real answer is to things, especially if that would make me stand out of the group. And so when I saw this email come in, I was kind of like that. Well, this is another one of these situations. And last year, 2025, was the year that I finally decided, you know what? I'm gonna start giving my real answers to things, because I really need to practice this, because it's difficult for me. But I want to be myself. I want to be authentic and authentically myself. So I need to give what my real answer is, even if it's difficult, even if it's different from the group, whatever. Even if it's gonna make me stand out, I need to give my answer. And so when I saw this email, I was like, this is one of these situations in which I now need to do that. Because I had already decided this year that I'm gonna be me, so I gotta give my real answer. And this is one of the first few like real life situations in which I have to do that. I can't do that thing that I did in the past, where I just tried to answer something kind of sort of like other people. So I was really nervous going into that meet. But actually the meet itself turned out really great, because, well, we have a bunch of really authentic people there who also gave their real answers, and people actually gave their real answers. They would talk about the stuff that's like going on with them in their life. And some of them had goals and some of them didn't really have goals. I too managed to give my real answer. And my real answer was, well, I don't really have goals. If I have any goal at all at this point in life, it is just, it's always the same thing. It is to be as happy as I can be, as often as I can be it. And that's it. That's my goal. I don't have any specific like work goals or life goals, because I know myself. Like if I had that and if I didn't achieve those things, I would take that really hard. I would take a really hard emotional hit from that. And I feel like if you are, there's nothing wrong with having goals. I'm just talking about my own perspective. So you can have goals if you want to have goals. But I feel like if you are going to have goals, you need to have a really healthy perspective about that. And like one of the people at the meet who did have goals, they probably have like one of the healthiest perspectives I've ever heard about that. They were like, I have ongoing goals. So if I don't achieve something this year, I'm just like, okay, so I'm gonna keep on working on this next year. It just gets moved, it's ongoing. And I don't berate myself for it. I don't talk down to myself for it. And it's just an ongoing thing. And I feel like if you're gonna have a goal, that's probably the healthiest attitude to have about it. And I've made some progress with that myself. I don't really talk down to myself anymore like that. At least most of the time I don't. So maybe if I did have goals, I might be okay in that I don't talk down to myself if I don't achieve the thing. But I still feel like I have changed so much now that my perspective of everything is kind of, I don't know how to call it, like more broad. Like I'm trying to take a broad view of everything. I just have this thing where I'm like, why do I need to have goals at all? Why do I need to achieve anything at all? Because to me, it still feels as if I'm trying to prove something to myself, to someone else. I'm trying to prove that I'm worthy of something. That's what it feels like to me. This doesn't appeal to me in any kind of way anymore, because I'm like, all I want truly, at the end of the day, is to be happy. And all the rest of it, like all this, like my professional life and things that I could be doing with my life and all that, I'm not saying that I don't have dreams or that I don't have things that I want to do. Yeah, I do. I really do. But I don't view them as goals. It's just stuff that I want to explore or I want to get to or whatever. But it's just, I am just here to explore things. I am not here to prove worthiness. And I have to keep on telling myself this over and over again, because it just doesn't stick very easily with you. You do have to keep on repeating this to yourself. Just here to explore. And so I don't think you need to set any goals at all, especially if you are someone who gets like really obsessed with these things. If you don't achieve the thing and you feel bad, you know what you're doing, you are fucking up your emotional state, you're fucking up your vibration, and then that's gonna start affecting your life and what comes to you, what you attract into your life. And so with all this goals talk, I have just been like, why do I need to do this to myself? I don't need to do it. Nobody is holding a gun to my head and being like, what are your goals? So why am I doing this to myself? I don't need to. I don't need to have any goals at all. You don't need to have goals at all. I don't care what your family or friends or whatever, whoever says whatever to you. If you don't want to have goals, you don't need to have them. It's totally fine to live any kind of life that you want to live. And I was talking about this with one of my friends today, about the fact that a lot of these rules that we have are just, these are made up constructs that we have made up for ourselves. And I really feel like they are traps. This whole, your life needs to look like this by this point in time. You need to have achieved this by this age. And if you have not, there's something wrong with you. Or you are a failure if you haven't achieved these things by this whatever age. No, we are not. That is just made up crap that we have made up to torture ourselves. For what? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we just really love doing that. Well, I know nobody really loves doing that, but you know what I mean, right? It's just made up stuff. Like there are actually no rules. There is no right life and wrong life. There is no right or wrong way to live a life. There's just what you want. What do you want? Some people don't even know what they want. They know what everybody else wants of them. They don't know what they want. And even this goal setting, I feel like for some people might just be, you got that from somebody else. Somebody else told you you need to have goals. I mean, they ask you in school too. What do you want to be in 5 years? And you're like, I haven't even seen life yet. I'm 10, bro. Or I'm 18. Even if you're 18, you haven't even entered life yet. In 5 years, man, I don't know. So I'm just saying, this might be something that somebody else put into your head, and now you don't even realize you're trapping yourself. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having goals, but if you're gonna have goals, try to have a healthy attitude about it. Just like that one person that I mentioned, right? Doesn't berate themselves, doesn't judge themselves. They have ongoing goals. And they like it that way. And that's great for them. And that might work for you too. Doesn't really work for me though. So I'm just talking to the people who maybe just live unconventional lives. So your life doesn't fit any kind of standard anything. And so then it's easy to feel like a failure or feel like I should be in some situation that I am not. It's like this eternal judgment of yourself. I should be somewhere I am not. Can you feel what this is doing with your energy? Can you feel the crazy blocks that just come all over you? I feel like you should be able to feel that emotionally. Like as soon as you start doing that in your head, I should be somewhere I am not. I should be there by now, or I should have that by now. Or I'm a failure because I don't have whatever by now. It blocks your energy flow. And then law of attraction is going to respond, and you're just sort of trapped, stuck. You're in a stuck place. Even though we aren't ever stuck, actually. But it can feel like we are, because if you are doing this self-judgment thing, then you are blocking your energy flow. The flow that would be there otherwise. Because it's natural to have flow. It's not natural to block it off. It's not natural to feel restricted. So this is a big reason for why I don't have goals. My only goal is to be as happy as I can be, as often as I can be it. And I guess my other only goal is just to be myself. That's all I want. I want to be myself. And all the rest of it, everything else that I'm doing or being or whatever, that's just kind of secondary. It's just me exploring life, period. I want to be myself, that's it. So I hope that this has been helpful to someone, anyone out there, and this light is really bright. This is really in my eyes. And so I hope that this helped. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.